You will hear a conversation between three students about a university assignment. First, you will have some time to look at questions 21 to 30. Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 30.
Right then, since we're all here, let's finally nail down the topic for our presentation. The deadline is in a fortnight and we haven't even started.
I agree. I was looking at our list of potential topics. I quite liked the idea of the impact of podcasts on modern journalism. It feels very current.
Yes, it is interesting. But Professor Evans emphasized that the topic should allow us to analyze at least two distinct types of media. Podcasts are just one format.
That's true. We need something comparative. What about comparing the coverage of scientific news in traditional newspapers versus on social media? That fits the brief perfectly.
Oh, that's a good angle. We could take one major news story, like the latest breakthrough in climate science, and see how it's presented in, say, the Chronicle and on Twitter feeds of scientists or science pages.
I like it. It gives us a clear structure: introduction, comparison methodology, analysis of two case studies, conclusion. And finding primary sources for analysis will be straightforward, just taking real posts and articles.
Before we split the work, we should define our key criteria for comparison. Otherwise, the analysis will be all over the place. I was thinking we could look at three specific aspects: factual accuracy, use of sensational language, and the overall intended audience.
That's smart. For social media, measuring sensational language might be tricky. Should we count the use of certain emotive words, or maybe even the frequency of exclamation marks or capital letters? That could be quite objective.
Good point. For newspapers, we can check if they cite peer-reviewed journals. For social media, we might track whether they link to the original study or just make a bold claim. That would feed into the factual accuracy criterion. But we'll need a clear coding system for this.
Definitely. Let's each draft a short list of 5 to 10 indicators for our assigned media type based on those three aspects. We can consolidate them next time. Okay, so the topic and framework are agreed. Now let's divide the tasks. I suggest we each take on one research aspect.
Let's do it. I can focus on the social media side. I recently completed an online course on digital platform analytics, so I know how to extract and systematize data from Twitter and Facebook.
Brilliant. I'll take the traditional newspapers then. I'll need to analyze the articles and also look into whether these publications have official style guides for science news. That would add some depth.
Perfect. I'll handle the introduction, conclusion, and a comprehensive comparative chart where we visually show the differences in tone, depth, and target audience. I can also draft the initial slides for the presentation.
Wait, what about the actual writing? If we all research separately, the final text might sound disjointed. Should one person be the primary writer to ensure a coherent narrative?
I've thought about that. How about we write the sections we researched, but then we do a rotating peer review? Liam reviews my section, I review Sophia's, and Sophia reviews Liam's. That way, we get fresh eyes on each part and keep a consistent voice.
That's a much better system than we used last time. I'll add a writing and review schedule to our shared document. Speaking of which, we should also decide on a word limit for each section to keep the presentation balanced. Professor Evans said the script shouldn't exceed 1,500 words in total.
Right, so 500 words each for the newspaper and social media analysis, and 500 for the intro, conclusion, and chart commentary. That seems fair. Good distribution. When should we meet to discuss our initial findings? I already have a tutorial on Thursday, so another day would be better.
How about next Monday? By then, we should have some material. And let's not meet in the library. It's too quiet for discussion. The cafe, the Study Hub, on the ground floor has bookable group study rooms.
I second that. I'll check the university portal and book one for 3 p.m. Sorted.
Sorted. One more thing. How are we formatting the bibliography? Professor Evans was very strict about correct citation.
He mentioned he prefers the APA style for this module. The library website has a concise guide. The key is to record everything as we go, not the night before.
Absolutely. I'll set up a shared online document where we input every source in the correct format immediately. That will save us a massive headache later.
Actually, one more practical question. The presentation format. Are we going for a standard PowerPoint, or should we use something more interactive like Prezi, or maybe even embed short video clips of the social media posts we're analyzing?
PowerPoint is safer and more professional for this context, I think, but we can definitely embed screenshots and links within it. Let's avoid anything too flashy that might distract from our analysis.
Agreed. Keep it clean and academic. I'll use the university's official template. Also, we need to time ourselves. The presentation must be 15 minutes maximum, plus 5 for Q&A. We should rehearse together at least once.
Perfect. It feels like we have a solid plan. I have a feeling this presentation could even be stronger than our last project on radio broadcasting.
As long as we avoid past mistakes. Remember how we realized at the last minute that our central argument wasn't sufficiently underpinned by evidence? This time, we're starting with data analysis, so it should be better.
Exactly. Okay, let's get to it. I'll book the room. You two start the research. See you Monday.
See you Monday.
See you Monday.
That is the end of Section 3. You now have half a minute to check your answers.